Hello, live chatters and mad hatters. Sorry about that. Sorry about the delayed beginning. This is Douglas Bloch, and welcome to your depression recovery hour. We're having it Saturday instead of Sunday because I'm going to the coast tomorrow. Yes, live on Saturday just because I am having the day off tomorrow. I'm going to the coast to see my good friend Demetra. I told people about it, so I don't know how many people are going to be here. Hey, David Anthony, nice to see you. You can tell your friends that we won't be here tomorrow, but we will be here on July 17th, my wedding anniversary. Anyway, welcome everybody who shows up. This is the Depression Recovery Radio Hour with Pastor Doug. Welcome, and we're here again to take any of your questions about mental health recovery, and hopefully we'll have some more people showing up. Otherwise it'll be a mix. Hey Mariano, yes, nice to see you too, having on Saturday. Hello, Jolma, yeah. So a little bit of a change of pace. It's Saturday. It is now the 9th of June. July, my, this year went quickly. It is 2022, and yesterday, I went ahead and posted a video called actually Flashback Friday. I guess it was yesterday. Yeah, how can you fix a broken brain? Making a distinction between modern medical science. There was a big article in the New York Times about this woman who had a heart attack, went to the emergency room, her heart stopped beating. They revived her. She was good as new. Whoop-de-doo. Then, 2 hours later, a suicidal person walked in and they said, "We don't know what to do." And they sent him home 2 days later. So psychiatry has got a long way to go to catch up to modern medical science, but we're still trying. Hey Lori, hey Resin Zen. Hit the like button, you guys. Sigmund Freud, that is the same thing as, why am I forgetting your name? After 4 years of critique, I think I'm going to slowly come off. Want to see how well I can couple on my own. Taper maybe over 8 months, only on 50 milligrams a day. Well, it's a tough, Chom's right, there you have it. From Canada, thank you for your $13.99 donation. Sounds hot in Portland. No, it's only 81 today. It'll be hot on Monday. It'll be 90. Anyway, it's a tough call. You're young, I think. I've had 4 mental breakdowns, and I'm doing well on Wellbutrin and Lamictal, but my psychiatrist said you don't want to go off because what if you have another one at the age of 73? You may not come back. So, on one hand, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. On the other hand, you want to try to see what you're going to be like without the medication. So it's a tough call. Hey, Lori Buckman, nice to see you. Thank you again for that donation. Speaking of which, if you hit the $ super chat, you can give money to this channel and help sustain it. I just found out yesterday from my videographer that YouTube has changed its algorithm to make it really difficult for people, videographers, not creators like me, to make money. My good friend Noah Thomas told me his income and views have gone down 70%, so have mine. So, one way we can get around that is to have generous donations from folks like you. Anyways, as I was saying, how do you fix a broken brain? Not easy, but it can be done over time. Value in you. Hey, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you. Again, I'm here on Saturday just as a change of pace because I will be out of town on Sunday the 10th, but back on the 17th, which is my 30th wedding anniversary. Wow. We'll have to have Joan come on. Tomorrow I'm going to be posting a video in lieu of live chat called my 10 strategies for healing from depression and anxiety. Things that really are effective, and give you a hint. Of course, setting the intention to heal is the first one. I don't talk about that enough on this video, but on this chat. But before you can heal from depression, before you can actually start to attract to yourself what you need, you first have to make a mental decision here that you want to get well, even if you don't know how. Thank you, 700 Moons. Hello to you. So this is the key. You don't have to know how to get well, or when you're going to get well, or if you're going to get well. You just have to want to get well. Love is the greatest, and everything about it. Well, love is the greatest healer, of course, David Anthony. What did Emmett Fox says? If only you could love enough, you'd be the most powerful person in the world. Look at what's going on in Russia. These dictators, they have temporal power in time, but it never lasts. At some point they fall, they're deposed, but love is eternal. So of course, all the poems, all the spiritual traditions say the same thing. What else is new, right? There's nothing new under the sun. Anyway, please go ahead and state your questions, your comments. I know we're not going to have a full crowd today, but at least those of you who are here. Houghton has love. Well, we need to give it love to him because he's certainly not acting in a very loving way. William Ball, currently leading Healing from Depression. Yes. Hey, Central Florida. Peach Mom, thanks a lot. Yes. What William Ball is related to is this book, Healing from Depression, a Body, Mind, Spirit Recovery Program by Douglas Bloch. I wrote this book, 12 Weeks to a Better Mood. I wrote this book in 1998. Can you believe it? What is that? That's 24 years ago after my major breakdown, and everything I put in it has not changed. Emmanuel, thank you. Calling Mandela for anxiety. Yes, it works. I've got a whole coloring book I was given in the hospital. Thank you for your €2 donation. Appreciate it. Anyway, getting back to this book, Healing from Depression, we do talk about a self-directed body, mind, spirit recovery program. Now, this doesn't mean you shouldn't see a counselor or a psychiatrist, but there was a very famous book, Bernie Siegel. No one's ever heard of him, right? You're not old enough. He wrote a book called Love, Medicine, and Miracles. It was all a book about the healing power of love with cancer patients and support groups. Anyway, he had this incredible follow-up called What Do You Do in Between Office Visits? I'm going to write that down right here. What do you do in between office visits? So why did he write that book? He said that you can see the doctor, but in between visits, you have to be the person who's in charge of your own health, right? You are the director of your own recovery program. And if you're getting medicine for a heart condition or asthma or diabetes, like you've had diabetes, like my best friend, in between office visits, you still have to watch your diet, right? You can't eat a lot of sugar and carbs. It's going to make things worse. Do I think you might get a movie made about you? That is extremely complimentary. No, I am not. I am not colorful enough or famous enough. What do I think about Eckhart Tolle? He's amazing. Okay, so getting back to this idea about this body, mind, spirit recovery program. By the way, we only have 25 people online. Of course, it's Saturday. Hit the like button. We'll get a couple more. So the point being is that there are things you can do in between visiting your psychiatrist, getting your medication, or your therapist. Sigmund Freud just said he'd been on Pristique. It was wonderful. Yes, but what else can you do? Well, that's what this book is about. Setting the intention to heal is the first thing. Social support is the second. Taking care of your body, because as your body goes, there's goes your mood. Number 4 is making your mind your friend. You have to watch out for that negative thinking. Number 5 is medications, if needed. They can be very helpful. Number 6 is learning to think like an optimist. People with depression normally see things through a glass darkly. Got to train yourself to knock out those cognitive distortions like, I'm a loser, things will never get better. And then self-esteem is step 7. Social support is step 8 again. Spirituality, step 9. Lifestyle habits and stress reduction. And finally, relapse prevention. By the way, I just did a video with Noah Thomas on relapse prevention. It's going to come up. Very excited. He's a very charismatic person. DT Bids X20 Zoloft did not help my depressive episode at all. I have a perfect healing community as well. Nothing else is helping. Can a medication really pull me out of a serious depression or episode? Yes. In some cases it can. Zoloft is only one of about, 25 or 30 medications out there for depression. It's an SSRI, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. You might have your psychiatrist want to try another one, like Paxil, or they might try something in a different class like I'm taking, Wellbutrin. There's Pristique, which Chom said is really helping him, or right now Sigmund Freud. Yes, it can help. We don't really know. That's the whole problem with psychiatry. How do you fix a broken brain? Not like fixing a broken heart in terms of physical. We just don't have the precision. You just got to do trial and error, and of course there's something called TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation. William Ball, currently undergoing ECT, which I went through 6 years ago in January of 2016. It helped me, it helped my mother, it helped some of my clients, so I'm hoping for the best too. How many sessions? You usually get 9 to 12, and don't make any judgments until it's over. I didn't really feel the effects until the entire series was done, so yeah, good luck on it. It's 14 after the hour. It's Saturday. It's July 9th. This is the video live chat a day early. Hit that like button. We'll get more people alerted to it, so more people would come on. California Dreaming, always nice to see you. I have not only do I have a bad hip, I have a bad knee. Welcome to growing older. Oh, I have epilepsy and they wouldn't let me try TMS? Well, yeah, I don't know why, but evidently that must have, well, you already have seizures. I know that the whole thing with these CT is they give you seizures, right? So they want you to have seizures. Value in you. Douglas, what was the most traumatizing about the times you had to be admitted to a facility? All the times I had to be in a facility. I have to believe back then it had to be worse for you due to even worse depression, mental illness, ignorance. Well, yeah, 1996 when I went to a place called Pacific Counseling Center, oh my God. It was for a dual diagnosis. A lot of it is for drug addicts and alcoholics. The only way you could go outside, there was this little patio like this, maybe 10 feet by 12 feet, with a barbed wire fence around it. People were out there smoking. I couldn't get any exercise. It was horrible. I had to run around in circles, like, 120 square feet with smoke all around me. That was a very, very primitive place. And but the people were always kind to me, the staff, and so it wasn't really, it was horrible because I was in a horrible place. When I went to New York Hospital and actually Hillside Hospital in Queens in 1983, that was the worst. That was a complete mess. People were very ill, and I was on suicide watch. I couldn't sleep. I was pacing back and forth on the ward from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. Hey, California Dreaming, thanks for your $10. Appreciate your help. This station runs partly on donations from viewers like you. Sounds like PBS, doesn't it? Anyway, yeah, the 1983 admission to Hillside Hospital in Queens, New York was really difficult. But it's never easy to go into the psych ward. I don't care how much they try to make it good. You're in a hospital, it's sterile white walls, you're in a room, they take away your lamps so you can't harm yourself. You're in a locked place, you can't go out, you're checked on every couple of hours. It's really not fun. I was in a mental hospital. It was a good experience. First of all, we had to walk 10,000 steps a day. My God, you're in Canada. They must have like really enlightened mental hospitals in Canada, not here in America. Resin Zen, akathisia. Thank you for sharing that. I've had some hard experiences. I scare people, so they tend to try and rough me up. Really? If you don't do anything value in you, they have no right to go ahead and physically harm you or restrain you. That's really weird. I'm sorry that happened to you. Resin Sense says psychiatry, aka fringe science, they should test your thyroid, vitamin D, and levels before they put you on meds. Many times depression has a biological origin. Yeah, well, that's why they put you on meds, Resin Zen, but you're absolutely right. It can be a biological cause that has nothing to do with serotonin, especially low thyroid, especially vitamin D levels. It's controversial, but I believe that vitamin D, low vitamin D can make you more vulnerable to depression. Kelly Burns from Texas. I've been to 5 psych wards, 1 involuntary, 2 were extremely helpful. Wow, Kelly, thanks for being so honest. Kelly Burns is from Texas. He's a long-time viewer, and he has involuntary. Were you on suicide watch or something? That's tough when you're involuntarily committed. Yes, akathisia. I have a video about agitated depression. They actually show me walking back and forth, pacing. That's akathisia. Very, very, very difficult. Hey, Jacob. Nice to see you again. Assuming that's your name. Jacob says, meditation really helps me view my emotions and thoughts, assess experiences up in a distance. Definitely start meditating to view your passing thoughts and emotions from a different perspective. Yes, yes, yes. Live stream on Saturday? Yes, Marin, only this Saturday because I'm out of town tomorrow, Sunday. Nice to see you from Ireland. Yeah, Kelly Burns. Kelly Burns is also at heart surgery. 29 people watching. Let's get at least to 50. Come on. That's really low. Of course, we're not at our normal time. What you guys can do is hit the like button. Cheryl Daniel. Ho, ho, ho. Wow. I love it when the old timers show up that haven't been here for a while. Hi, Douglas. Your book, Healing from Depression, is helping you understand what the counselor is referring to when he talks about cognitive distortions. How does cognitive distortions contribute to depression? Well, a lot. Because when you're cognitive distortion just means a thinking error. Like, I'll never get better. No, that's not true. But if you tell yourself enough, you'll get despairing and maybe even suicidal. Cognitive distortion is black and white thinking. Well, you know, if either I'm cured tomorrow or it's hopeless. The way we think affects the way we feel. That's the whole philosophy behind cognitive behavioral therapy. What goes on here affects our emotions, our limbic system. So, in Oregon, it rains in the fall. One person from California says, why did I ever move up here? I hate the rain. It sucks. When am I going to see the sun? Another person, Oregonian, says, hey, it's raining. That's cool. I don't have to water my garden. I don't have to cut the lawn. And it means there's snow on Mount Hood. I can go skiing. Same event. One person is happy, one person is sad. It's not the events in our lives that control how we feel. It's our interpretation of the events. That's an old idea going back to Roman times, and that is the basis of cognitive therapy. It's how we interpret things that determine how we feel. So, if you're interpreting things in a negative way, that's going to contribute to depression. So, did that answer your question, Cheryl? Antipsychotics are notorious for causing akathisia. Yes, I'm on an antipsychotic called Seroquel, and actually every time I meet with my nurse practitioner, he gives me these neurological tests. Like, I have to go like this. I have to count. I have to go like this with my fingers. Let's do this for you. And if you have akathisia or what's it called, the neurological movements that you can't control, you can't do this stuff. Then he has you going like this, all these different tests to see if the antipsychotic is causing you involuntary movements. Fortunately, it's not for me because Seroquel is really helpful. Hey Doug, good to see you again, says Jacob. My name is Jacob. I told you, just like I thought, the X's. I chose the YouTube name when I was 11. I'm now 19. Good for you. I wish I were 19. I'm 73. I wish we had Ann C on here. She's happy at 84. Man, I'm telling you, I am not looking forward to getting older. Marin says, I'm in a state of shock about the former Japanese minister. Yes, Marin's from Japan. Japan doesn't have gun violence like America, but you know what? We have had 300 mass shootings in America. I'm not going to say what to do about it. Don't want to get into, politics, but it has been like a cancer spreading. Poor old Japan, a place with no gun violence, it even seeps over into them. It's a mindset. I'll tell you this. David Brooks on the NewsHour said, the reason these young 25-year-olds are, young men under 25, one, their brain hasn't developed, and two, they are feeling absolutely despairing, like nobody cares about them, and they feel alienated, and they feel angry. And a lot of these mass shootings are their attempt to end their life and kind of go up in glory. The problem is, they're killing innocent people, but their brain is so messed up, they can't see it. So it's a tragic, tragic thing. Yeah, I just can't believe something like that happened in Japan. I'm feeling uneasy, though I haven't been back there in 4 years. Well, you should be. That's your country. So yes, my wife Joan, who I'll be married to for 38 years as of next Sunday, was in a state of shock herself about the gun violence in Japan. It's such a, I don't know what people are thinking, but they must be in a complete state of shock. Doug, Sigmund Freud says, Douglas, by the way, do you take Seroquel for sleep? Yes, and also for anxiety. I have a really powerful video about my almost breakdown caused by disruptive sleep. It's from January. I want you to watch it if you can. 29 people still. Wow. Can we get a lot more than that? Hit the like button. My video is called, quote, What I Needed to Hear to Avoid a Nervous Breakdown, period, unquote. It's about how Seroquel helped me restore my sleep, period. Add positive affirmations. Where do you see the video? Oh, just go to my YouTube channel. You're on it right now. Go to the main page. You'll see all my 360 videos. William Ball says to Sigmund Freud, Seroquel helps me sleep, the only one drug that has worked for sleep. We had a gal come to our support group, had only slept 4 hours a day for 6 months. She was about to go into the hospital and they gave her Seroquel and it helped. I'm sick of the war in Europe. Yes, so is everybody. So is everybody in America. It's a horrible thing and we can't really do much about it. The New York Times said it's going to be a war of attrition. Thank you for that $10 donation. It really means a lot. I don't know what S stands for. Let me see. Suzanne Wolbert, good to see you again. Hi Doug, what is your opinion or experience with the effectiveness of TMS? For people who don't know that, it's transcranial magnetic stimulation. Here's what the studies show. 1/3 of the time, it's very helpful. The other 1/3 of the time, it's minorly helpful, and the other 1/3 of the time, it doesn't have any effect whatsoever. So you have a 2/3 chance of having some effect, but 1/3 chance of not having any. How do you do it? I'll tell you, it's the same thing with every drug out there, every treatment out there, whether it's TMS, ECT, ketamine, you name it. And here it is, the magic words. Now, this is not true of antibiotics, and I guess this is, again, the problem with psychiatry. It's not their fault, but it's all about trial and error. So TMS is certainly worth trying if you have treatment-resistant depression. I had a woman who was thinking of harming herself every day. I said, "You've got to try it." And we raised some money for her. And she said, "Well, I want a 50% improvement." I said, "I don't think you're going to do that. You're only going to get about 30%. "Well, I want a 50%. She said, "Trust me, 30% will be good." Sure enough, she got 30%. It was enough to stop the suicidal ideation in its track. Instead of having self-harm thoughts like, every hour on the hour, she had it like 3 days a week, maybe 1 or 2 hours a day. That was enough. So it's worth it to try these things. Something I preach is attention training technique. It's listening to different sounds in earphones and different spatial locations and focusing on them at one time. Wow. Jacob, send me a link, will you? Look at this. V8, spicy hot. You guys like hot foods? Helps with depression. Susan says it was helpful for me. I guess you're talking about TMS. I'm not quite sure. You might go back to medication. If you're really suffering and struggling, ECT is a possibility, but you have to be pretty bad off. Go to your subscriber. Talk to them. Yeah, Medicare, I think, does cover TMS, Kelly. I like turtles. Wow, have you seen Wimbledon? Yes, I was there in 1982 in person. We didn't win, Americans. We haven't had a good male player in such a long time. When can a perfect pack of people come together to discuss your movie, sir? David Anthony Burton, why don't you come over here and do like a little video about my life, and you can post it on YouTube. That would be kind of a mini movie. Jacob, Jacob, will you please send that information? 28 people. Can we at least get to 40? I guess it's not going to happen today. Okay. After this is done, I got to pack for my trip. I got to be down in Eugene by 5 p.m. Pacific time. So send the link to me. And what is that? About attention training technique, right? Marcos Anaya, hope everyone is having a great day. This is a cool experience. Well, yeah, if you haven't been on the live video chat, it is. Absolutely. Silver Moon, nice to see you also. We come together once a week, usually on Sundays at noon, to talk about mental health recovery, to share ideas, information, healing techniques, and to connect with each other, because community is all what it's about. Well, there are many things. My 3 steps to mental health recovery: 1, set the intention to heal. Make the decision that you want to get well, even if you don't know how. Number 2, reach out for support. We are meant to heal in community. We cannot heal in isolation. Human beings need each other. We're pack animals. And number 3, use a combination of mutually supportive therapies to treat your depression. I show this every live chat. This is my Bible, or whatever, my go-to. It says self-care activities to improve your mood, physical self-care, mental emotional self-care, social support, spiritual connection, lifestyle habits. On the other side, it says right over here, boost your psychological immune system. Has all these little cool things you can do, like spend time in nature, have fun, find ways to relax, feed your spirit, eat well, exercise. Anyway, this is absolutely free, and the way you can get it is simple, dimple. All you have to do is go to my personal website, and download the PDF of the chart on self-care activities. And there it is. I'm going to have to go and water the garden before it gets dark in the UK, which is soon. We're having a heat wave, no rain. Well, we're going to have a heat wave starting tomorrow. But we had a record amount of rain this spring and also in June, so we got plenty of water here in Oregon stashed up. Your videos and live streams have been helpful, more helpful to me than my therapist. Thank you so much, Doug, and please keep up the work. Well, thank you. I like turtles. Anybody who feels the same way who can make a donation, just click on the super chat button, $, and that would really help. I hope your therapist is helping somewhat. We need all the help we can get, right? So even if your therapist is helping a little bit, it's contributing. All right, how to overcome the void feeling, says Prasad Shate, about future and overcoming depression to some extent. Well, the void feeling about the future is hopelessness, and the way you do that is you just have to live one day at a time and focus on the present. Get treatment, put things into action, and just focus on the here and now, and don't worry about what's going to happen in the future. Am I doing Sunday Live? Not this week. I'm going to be out of town. That's why I'm doing Saturday right now. Next Sunday, the 17th, I will be back. Which is my wedding anniversary. And I'll read you something from my book, why that's a really special day for me. I'm going to stand up for my hips. It's halfway through the hour. I've got to stand up and stretch. Rajarshi, hey Douglas, thank you so much for all the resources you've shared on depression. What are your views on social media and the internet? Are they affecting our mental health? There have been studies that say spending too much time on Facebook can make your depression worse. I'm standing up, that's why you're seeing me like this, because you end up comparing yourself to others and seeing how great they are, and anytime you compare yourself to others, you're in bad shape. Look at that, I look like a giant, don't I? Congratulations on the anniversary. What I'm doing now, I'll do it off the screen. I'm doing these little, what do they call you? You step up like this and come down again. Calf stretches. Anyway, gotta stretch out my calves. Gotta stretch out my legs. Yeah. Oh my God. Sitting is, for long periods of time, is really bad for your health, and especially when you've had a hip surgery and now arthritis in the knee. Mark Len, nice to see you again. Thank you for your £5 donation. Hi Doug, thanks so much for your channel. What should you do if your job is making you sick with anxiety and panic? It's a good salary. That is a tough question. I have a video that's very popular. 5 signs that a job might be toxic to your health. Here in my video. So in the situation you're in, they talk about chains of gold. you know, you need the money, but then you don't want to be miserable. It's a really tough balancing act. What I would try to do is I would try to find out why the anxiety and panic are happening in the job. Is it a bad job, or is it something within yourself? And if so, go find a good therapist and some medication maybe, and work out how to manage your anxiety on the job. If it's because the workplace is really bad for you and really unhealthy and toxic, then you may just have to look for something else with less money. It's a tough situation, but if the anxiety and depression are in your control or panic, if there's something you can do about it internally, then work on that, and then you can adapt to the job. But if it's what's going on is out of your control, like a toxic boss or a lot of verbal abuse or too much pressure, then you know it's a different story. So I consult with some good friends, and especially a psychotherapist. We're going to hold for you that you're going to have the right and perfect response. Sana Ismail from Denmark, someone who used to be on here quite a lot, going through some bad depressions, has two, or at least two, beautiful children. Do you have Venmo? PayPal owns them. It's a great way to send feel-free money. Well, yes. Anybody who would like to send money and not have Google take out a third of it simply can send it to me through PayPal. And that my PayPal address is douglasbloch@gmail.com. I'm not quite sure what my Venmo address is, but you can look it up. My PayPal address is douglasbloch@gmail.com. Yeah. Anyway, Sana, really nice to see you. No, some of you might remember her. So how is it going? It's been at least 3 years since we've seen you. And how is your, how are you doing with the depression? Is it lifted? How are you and your kids doing? I'd really like to know. Why does love create madness? I don't think it does. I think, you know, not true love. So, what else can we talk about? And keep up your work, Douglas. Your videos are great help for self-help. Love from India. So, Prasad, a lot of people who respond to me are from India. I have a feeling that life is tough in India. You know, there's a lot of poverty. It's really damn hot. And what do you think about mental health in India? Do you think a lot of people are suffering from anxiety and depression, which is why so many people watch my and other channels? And by the way, thank you, Mark Glenn. So I'd like to hear your views on what is going on in India in terms of how well people are doing mentally and emotionally. Okay, so Value in View is saying something to David Anthony Burton. Yeah, all this shall pass, absolutely true. Do weed and ecstasy work? Well, I don't know. Weed has caused some people to go into what's called derealization and depersonalization. It can be cut with stuff, and it's much smaller than it was when I was smoking it in 1967, which is in the Stone Age. So in ecstasy, they've been using ecstasy, the FDA, to give to veterans with trauma. So yeah, it has its possible work, but again, it's really depending on the individual. So. And marijuana does relax some people. It certainly treats people's pain medically. So these are psychoactive substances, different things for different people. Here in Oregon, it's legal to take pot. Other places, it's not. So, you know, do it at your own risk, I suppose. Giles Muckley, my perfectionism is getting worse when I'm depressed, and often my anxiety thoughts are stressing me out. So it's kicking me back all the time. Hard to recover. Well, you need to start telling yourself some affirmations like, you know, it's okay if I'm not perfect, I'm all right the way I am. You know, you have to talk yourself out of it, so to speak. And of course, exercise always, you know, helps the brain feel better. Hopefully you're talking with a counselor about this. Again, if you want some techniques to help with all of the depression and anxiety, you can get this free chart, Self-Care Activities to Improve Your Mood, by going to douglasbloch.com and downloading a free PDF. Adil Ahmad, it's been 3 years. I have extreme fatigue and my brain is impaired. You think I can recover? Of course. The brain is resilient. I believe I have no hope and suicide would be the only solution. What do you say, Doug? I say it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Robert Jenkins, a blast from the past. Oh my God, Robert Jenkins was one of our regular contributors. 2019? God, time flies. Before the pandemic, you're doing fantastic. My wife and I are buying a new home, which I cannot wait on. No random thoughts any time if I push them to the side. Keyword, this too shall pass. Yeah. You might want to do some testimony, Robert. Robert was someone who was assailed by obsessive thoughts, thoughts that were, I won't give them what they were specifically, but they were very disturbing to him. And he eventually went to the hospital, came out of it, and then he started to improve. And Robert, what do you think is the key to your recovery? Share that with these other people, and people watching this video after the fact. It's always helpful to find out what works for people. And so I'm gonna write it right here. Robert, could you share with the people on live chat what were the key strategies and therapies that helped you with your recovery? Period. I'm using Siri, which is a lot quicker than typing. And also, to the person who said that he has no hope, Adil, suicide is the only solution, I say, this too shall pass. And I have created a website for people like yourself, people who are in deep suicidal pain. It's really took 3 years. My heart is into it. It's called Overcoming Suicidal Pain right here. This is a part of the homepage. There is hope and there is help. It addresses how to deal with suicidal thoughts. Here's reasons for help with a candle flame. Remove all means of self-harm. Reasons to stay alive. It's really, really incredible. I'm making an audiobook out of it. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go here to another. I should have just gone to. It's okay. I'm going to put the URL in here. And here is the website for if you are dealing with suicidal thoughts and feelings. Trust me, when you go here, you will really, really be glad you did. It's called overcomingsuicidalpain.com. I highly recommend that you go there. The key to recovery is never giving up no matter what. How hard it is, I always keep going. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Remember, suicide is a temporary fix that affects everyone. Keep on fighting. Yes, it leaves a train wreck behind it. Jacob says, everyone, whatever pain you're going through, never give up. You are all amazing. A bird has legit just flown into my bedroom window. That is a good sign. So, getting back to Prasad, we'll get to Prasad in a moment. I want to go back to Adil. Yes, I was depressed for 3 years. Yes, I thought there was no hope. Yes, I thought I would not recover, and I did. So, you have to do what David says. You have to persevere. You have to hold on. And please go to my website. I know that if you hold on long enough, David, what Robert Jenkins said is absolutely right. This too shall pass. It doesn't feel like it, and so what you have to do to get through this is to live one day at a time. And I have a couple of videos on that, because if you don't think about the future, you just worry about getting through the day, your sense of despair will be much well, it'll be slightly decreased enough that you can keep on going. I hung myself from a tree in 2019. You can come back from anything, I promise. Well, value in you. Obviously, it didn't work. I'm so glad it didn't. What do you think? Are you looking back at that situation? What was it that made you do that? And are you grateful that it didn't succeed? Do you feel that now that life is worth living? Yes, 700 moons. I must go and water the garden. You're the second person who said that. Freaky hot temperatures in UK, like what, 95? All right, let's go back to some of these are amazing comments, by the way. Thank you all for contributing. Hit that like button. I would love to have more people come on here, but this is a great conversation. I want to repeat what Robert Jenkins said. The key to recovery is never giving up, no matter how hard it is. Always keep going. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Remember, suicide is a temporary fix that affects everyone. It's like it is. I forgot what it said, but what is really hard is that people left behind and all the suffering. You know, you never get over it. I'm a suicide loss survivor. My therapist, my roommate, my best friend in high school, or good friend in high school. You know, you never get over it. And there's, you know, someone said that suicide doesn't end the pain; it just passes it on to somebody else. So, so try to get help, see a therapist, and do everything you can and deal. All right, let's go to some other comments here. My depression did left and life got worth living again. Yes, and this group are definitely some of the reasons I survived. Thank you. I came back here to watch you and now and then, just feeling super grateful. This is an amazing story. Sana, those of you who remember her, maybe Kelly Burns, Lazy Eye Ranch. You should come back on Sunday when a lot more people here, next Sunday the 17th. And tell them about this. This is like Robert Jenkins. Here's another testimony. Someone who didn't think they were going to get better, and they did. That's what happens. What goes down must come up. So we have two testimonies here this afternoon. One is from Robert Jenkins from America. One is Sana from Denmark. I don't care what country you live in. There's always hope. Cappuccino, please. Yes, I'll take some. Hi, Douglas. Thank you for the comment and responses the other day. I am so sad, and staying at my parents' helps. As you said in one of your videos, I feel like I can never return to my home, but it will pass. Cappuccino, please. I get dozens of comments. Can you remind me what happened to you? I remember you said you were living with your parents. Was it a nervous breakdown? But I'm glad my words were helpful. Let me find Cheryl Daniels' comment here. Yes, thank you, Douglas. I guess that's what they mean. Look for the positive in everything. I used to, but it got messed up. Of course it got messed up. If you're depressed, your brain isn't working properly. That's why you need to go into therapy. That's why you need to exercise. That's why you need to get drugs every now and then if they help. Depression is a brain disorder, boys and girls, as is alcoholism. We got 40 people. Keep hitting the like button. We got 14 minutes to hit 50. Okay, here we go. Depression. Is a brain disorder. I have a friend who had a really bad gallbladder. They got it removed. I'm 73. A couple of my friends, when you get older men, they get something called prostate cancer. They have it removed. But you can't have your brain removed. That's the problem, right? You cannot have your brain removed. So if depression is a disorder of the brain, right, what are we going to do? We can't excise it, right? We have to try to rewire it. And guess what? You can rewire your brain. There's something called neuroplasticity. And I actually have a video called How to Rewire Your Anxious Brain, which you might want to look at. Lazy Eye Ranch. Wow. Hey, Lazy Eye Ranch. Sana Ismail and Robert Jenkins are here. They both had complete recoveries from their depression. You remember back then. You've been a long timer forever. How's your cat doing? Lazy Eye Ranch, aka Suzanne, an amazing person, gone through hell, has a tremendously strong spirit, and is kind of my age, so we share a lot of the same culture. 28 degrees Celsius in UK. Could someone translate that to Fahrenheit? What if my therapist doesn't take my suicidal thoughts seriously? Hard to believe. Anybody should take anybody's suicidal thoughts seriously. What does your therapist say? I mean, therapists are trained to basically respond to that. So you just need to keep telling her you need help, or talk to somebody else. There's something on Fahrenheit. Okay, I'm gonna talk to my phone in a second. Giles Mockel, my girlfriend can't get out of the house or sleep before she checks the oven 10 times. Any ideas that would help? That's called obsessive compulsive disorder. Oh, I can't diagnose it with the internet. Okay, so I'm not going to say that. She might have OCD, but then what would help is going to a psychiatrist ASAP. As you know, that is not normal. to have to check the oven, and I'm not allowed to diagnose. I'm not going to diagnose. I'm just going to say it is something that obviously is a problem. And you know, when you have an infection, you call your doctor, you go on antibiotics. When you have a brain disorder that's messing things up, like checking the oven, you have to go to a doctor of the mind, right? Psychiatrist means doctor of the soul. Isn't that wonderful? Except now they just push pills, but they used to do therapy. He's Mac 0192, a contributor to my Patreon account. I forgot to mention that. www.patreon.com to give a donation. And there you have it. Okay. I'm still waiting for someone to tell me what 28 Celsius is in Fahrenheit. Anyway, Giles, you need to get your girlfriend to go to a psychotherapist or a psychiatrist. This is a brain disorder. The brain is resilient, and it can be healed. Oh, 84 degrees, 84 degrees in Fahrenheit? That's not, oh, it's hot for the UK. It's not hot for here, man. It's going to be 90 on Monday. Right now, like, you know, 82 every day in July in here. And what about in Texas, Kelly Burns? You still around? It's not only like hot as hell in Texas, but it's humid. My sweet kitty Houdini is making me laugh today, says Lazy Iran. She's in a very playful mood. He loves stuffed animal toys more than any cat I've ever seen. Brings them to me to play like a dog. But isn't that amazing how cats... I have a number of videos on the healing power of pets. 100 in Texas. There you go. Thank you, Marcos. So tell those UK people, the Britain people, to stop kvetching. You know what that means in Yiddish? Stop complaining. What if we're 100 degrees in England? They'd all jump off the cliffs in Cardiff and go into the sea. Yeah, that's hot, 100 degrees. 82, piece of cake. Lazy Iran says, I was suicidal 4 years ago. My therapist sent a sheriff to take me to the hospital. I was angry but glad now. I was miserable those 4 days because I missed my animals and worried about them, but you got the help you needed and you're in a better state now. All right, 12:51, 9 minutes before the hour. Thank you for coming. I know this is not our normal time for doing this. It's usually Sunday from 12 to 1. I'm going away tomorrow. I wanted to give some of you the opportunity during the week to connect with each other and experience some healing. I'm glad those of you who have showed up. We, obviously our views are down right now because, people aren't expecting us to be here, but this has been a good conversation. And by hitting the $, the super chat button, you can give a donation that will help. Mill Street Toots. I'm in an agitated depression, bipolar mixed state for 9 months. I know what that is. I was the psych ward 3 times. Yes, I've been there 5. The only med that helps me was Zyprexa. But I had to get off it because of bad diarrhea. I didn't know Zyprexa causes diarrhea. My godson's on it. I've been on it. Yeah, but go back to your psychiatrist. There are other medications in that category, like Resveratrol and Seroquel, which I'm on, Tiadon. There's a bunch of medications in that class. So if you're at your wit's end, talk to your doctor and see what else you can try. That's not the only medication for the kind of things you're going through. Lazy Air Ranch says, hit the like, people. In other words, he's saying hit the like button, which is, I don't know where it is on my computer. I don't see it. Is that the little smiley face? I don't know. I don't know where the like button is. You'll have to tell me. The humidity is horrible. At least it's drier today. No AC here, no air conditioning, only 2 evaporative coolers that use water to cool, so they only work if it's not humid. Huh. Sorry you don't have air conditioning. It's kind of part of the modern life, but I guess not everybody's got it. TMAC0192 is a patron. I will always support Douglas. You have helped me, a lot of us, for a long time. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I wasn't moaning about the temperature in the UK. I was just saying I have to water the garden because it's hot for us. Okay, thank you, 700 Moons, for clarifying. Yeah, I wasn't meaning to, criticize you or saying you were kvetching, but yes, 82 degrees is hot in the UK. I lived there for many, many years. Actually, for many months. 32 viewers. Well, can we get back to at least 40? Natalia Kosian, thanks for the reply. Yes, because I'd never acted on them, never tried. We didn't easily go further on this topic and left behind. Yes, Natalia, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, but whatever you did to stay on this planet is a good thing. I'm just looking at, I've learned how to exit in the world without being of the world. That's a perspective that helps me a lot. Yes, St. Paul said, be of the world, but in the world, but not of the world. You're right. Have you ever heard about Vipassana meditation? Yes, yes, yes. I learned about it years ago when I was 22. It's, mindfulness meditation is based on it. There are many testimonies regarding its benefits. Are you kidding me? It was started in Burma. I forgot the guy's name who did it. You can remind me. But yes, Vipassana meditation, watching your breath, it's phenomenal. I recommend it to anybody who's going through depression, anybody who's not. Thanks for your answer. Weed and ecstasy, yeah, those are psychoactive substances. I would definitely, well, at your own risk, although ecstasy may be legalized by the FDA. Value New is a combination of childhood trauma, slow death, divorce, relationship problems, best friend suicide, kind of everything. Yeah, you got the whole kitchen sink thrown at you. I have trouble not hating the world, to be honest, but I live today. Well, day to day, well, look at all the wonderful things that are in this world. Go hang out with some children, or go read about Mercy Corps that goes into foreign countries and helps people who don't have enough, to live on, to help them, plant, gardens, or, farm or plant trees, and all these NGOs, non-government organizations out there doing amazingly philanthropic work. There is so much good in the world than evil, but the problem is the papers only report the bad things, right? So, isn't that weird? It's like a nervous system that only lets through the pain. It is 12:55. My knees are hurting. I'm going to stand up again. And thank you all for being here this Saturday. It is July 9th, 2022. 2022 has been a bad year. I thought it would be good for me because 2/22 is my birthday. But it has been rough. The stock market, my health, the war in Ukraine, the inflation, a lot of suffering for all of us. Okay, don't mean to look like I'm overpowering you. This week is Saturday. Yes, your favorite Uncle Hubert. Well, guess what? You can look at this later on, and you don't have to miss anything. Yes, your favorite Uncle Hubert usually comes every Sunday. I announced it was going to be Saturday for one time, but never missed a day in 5 years. But sometimes you have to take off and visit your friends. Prasad Shate, how good is it to take nootropics while being on mental health drugs? So I'm not quite sure what that word means. Marcos, nice to hear from you. And what are nootropics? Somebody tells me. Kelly Burns says, some days are lived in survival mode. Yes, and that's okay. Some days are so hard that the best you can do is survive. Yes, surviving a really bad day, that counts. No, that only counts. That's it. The original title of my website, which I still wish I had, was called Surviving Suicidal Pain. Because when you're in that state, Kelly Burns, you are right. It is about survival, and that's not a small thing, right? That is not a small thing to survive. That's the name of the game. And why is it important to survive? Because you live for another day, and then you never know. You never know what tomorrow can bring. All right. I'm in a kitchen. I'm so confused about Lazy Irons. The murder of Shinzo Abe hit me hard, even though I know little about him. He seemed like a very good man and leader. Reminded me how my dad was murdered, shot in the back by a worthless coward. Wow, Lazy Irons, I didn't know you were in such a difficult state. I mean, that you had such difficult trauma in your background. Sorry about that. Getting a little bit tired right now. We do have 2 minutes left, so please hit the like button, make your final comments. After I leave at 1 o'clock, you'll be able to continue to talk with each other and support each other. Prasad Chate, nootropics are also drugs, but to improve your focus, attention on work or study, especially it's popular among students. So you're talking about like Adderall or what do you call it, or Strattera? Yeah, I know a person who's severely depressed who has been prescribed those, and they help his mind think more clearly and therefore help the depression. So yes, they have been used. All right, it is 12:59. Any final comments? Thank you so much, Robert Jenkins, for your donation. Thank you, Sana and Ismail. I'm glad both of you have recovered. Any final donation would be great. Thank you, Chom Choms also, Suzanne Wolpert, for your donation. Thank you, California Dreaming, appreciate it. And Emmanuel. And if you would like to, when you're off the air, help out this channel, you can make a PayPal donation. And my PayPal address is Douglas Bloch at gmail.com. All right. It is 1 o'clock. Thank you all for being here. Lazy Eye Ranch says, I need to go feed the ravens. They're fussing at me. They have a nest with babies right now. I hope I can see them soon. You're amazing. You're like St. Francis of Assisi. Your love for animals. Natalia, thank you for your input in the stream. Prasad says, may everyone be healthy and prosperous. That's a wonderful thing to say. It's a wonderful way to close. And Roller Girl, nice to see you. Hey, Gal, I did this on Saturday because on Sunday, July 10th, I'm going down to, I'm actually going down in 2 hours to see my friend Eugene, so I won't be here. But we'll be back on July 17th, which is my wedding anniversary, a week from Sunday. And yes, Cheryl Daniel, I feel ahead of schedule. I got to watch Douglas Bloch live today instead of tomorrow. I found the positive. Well, there you have it. Good for you. And Cappuccino Police says, I currently search for a therapist, but they tell me they are not free until mid next year. I have church counselors, though. That's great. Hope the second half of 2020 will be better. Yes, for all of us. And are you in the UK with the National Health Services? Because you can pick up the phone here in America and see a counselor in like 2 weeks. And insurance will cover it. So I'm not quite sure why you have to wait so long, but yeah. All right. Peace, love, healing, and may you all, like you said, day before my birthday, well, Lazy Eye Ranch, you're Cancer. No wonder why you're such a homebody. Anyway, I like what Prasad Chate said. May everyone be healthy and prosperous. That's my wish for everybody. Yeah, play this back, Roll Girl. We got some good comments and some good people on here. Yes, you are from the UK, David Anthony. We've had a correspondence for quite some time. We're now at 42 viewers. Our tops for the day. That's a good way to end. Former Hillsborough in the house. Huh. You mean Hillsborough, Oregon? Right outside of Portland? Who knows? Anyway, you all have a good week until we meet again next Sunday, the 17th of July. I wish you the best in your mental health recovery. You guys can keep talking and supporting each other. We'll see you next week.